The days are long, and the nights are even longer. But you know what isn't as long? An hour of your favorite super good, super nice, wonderful audio podcast as the Quick Pop Podcast. Hey everyone, this is Raunchy, and this is the Quick Pop Podcast where we talk about things that are wrestling, things that are not wrestling, and things that are very, very life oriented, where we talk about our life experiences and what not to do with a fork in a toaster. Once again, I am Raunchy, and I got two people with me, the usual group, the co-hosts of this podcast. I didn't think that I was going to be on this one because I'm really tired, but so it is Ace and Jake, the usual duo. How are y'all doing?
Spoken like a man who didn't think he'd be here.
I know, right?
I love how
I was really scared I was going to be here.
Think was going to be here, and like probably did the most this weekend out of all three of us.
Oh yeah,
like, you do the intro, Ron.
I know, he's just like, you're here. It's your turn. You're gonna do it.
He's got a nice pillow of bills that he could rest on if it's really gonna wear him out.
Well, technically, I don't have the bills anymore. I just handed it off to my partner, and because like she's going with her younger brother to go deposit that money. But yeah, no more fat stack of cash on me right now.
Did it feel good though when you had it like?
Oh my god, yes. Oh my god, yes. And the thing is that the stack of cash wasn't even like, oh, you were laying on a bed of ones and fives. And like, no. No, we had 20s in that hoe.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Any amount of like cash that you just have on you that you know you're gonna like responsibly put away and everything, you still for like that brief moment of like time you're just
you know what I did with that money already? I paid bills.
Yeah, that's the thing is you have it and you do the fan motion with it, like, oh yeah, look at that, and then you're immediately like the car and this is the
wait, Ron, you're telling me you took all those Hamiltons and you bird it. You totally bird those Hamiltons.
Yeah, like I gave it back. I gave it back to
the people.
I gave it back to Uncle Sam. Well, a portion of it goes to Uncle Sam. The others, like I gave it to like T-Mobile. I gave it to Airbnb.
Wait,
I'm gonna be
because the one you're coming up. I was like,
the one that's
first. Hold on,
the one that's coming up.
Okay, I was very confused.
And then I have like a whole allocation of funds to actually completely restock because I had sold out. I was going through inventory and I completely sold out of most of my keychains. I had sold out of most of my bumper stickers and decals. And so it's like, okay, these were like the real. I had one that I did not know was going to sell out. This is my first time debuting it, but it literally is Vin Diesel on it saying, I live life a quarter mile at a time. And I got like Minnie, she texted me. She was like, we just sold out of that. We sold out of that bumper sticker on the second day. And I was like, are you serious? No way. And so literally like there's like some a threaded text that's like sold out.
It's like the Prime bumper sticker though. Like that is like top
tier.
The
Prime bumper sticker, which also sold out, was King of the Hill is my favorite anime.
Oh, okay.
And
one of Hank Vin Diesel doing...
No, Vin Diesel doing anything. Like, I think we're gonna have a sticker of Vin Diesel and his family on it. So,
can you figure out a way to like draw him like tribal chief style? I'm saying like family.
Oh my god, yes, yeah. I'll just draw his face and Roman's body, and
yeah, there you go.
Like you know,
just with all the other co-stars.
But then he kind of looked like The Rock. He kind of looked.
Well, then there you go. It works out.
I think it just made you hundreds of more dollars at your next convention.
What?
I think Ace just made you hundreds of more
I
dollars.
know, right? Gosh, he's gonna have to get a cut, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Just
listen, if you
taking
just
an
do it and
artwork
don't
as
tell
you
him,
always do.
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
do it.
no, like he gives me ideas. I give him free art, so it works out.
It really is an unspoken rule of like I don't ever, ask for credit or money on anything, but when I have a random request, he's just like, all right.
Yeah, like it's like no, I don't know. It's like there's no hesitation. I'm like, I got you. Don't worry about it.
Well, but I mean, it has to take you a while to do those drawings, though, right?
Yeah, just about. Like I'm usually pretty quick with it though.
What's
You
the
think so?
quickest you've put something together?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we talking about like are we talking about like a full blown print, or are we talking about like a little
Anything that
sticker?
you've put up, like anything that you've put
Yeah,
together.
the fastest commission you've ever done, Ron. What is the fastest commission?
Gosh, I think it was like around 60 seconds.
You
It
think
was
you do commission that
just
fast?
like no. So actually, this weekend, I did like a 1 minute sketch commission. They're like I have this extra dollar. You could keep the change, and I was like, you know what? For $1, I'll work on something for a minute, and just I just went and popped that out, and it was
Nice.
cool. Yeah, this is the quick pop, quick minute. This is a quick pop, quick minute. This is the Quick Pop Quick Minute. It is a wrestling podcast within a wrestling podcast. I am your host, Raunchy, and here is the news. Future WWE Hall of Famer John Felix Anthony Cena spoke to comicbook.com talking about his new film, Jackpot, about his retirement tour, and has stated that he will never return to the ring after December 2025, stating, "There isn't a check writer with enough money to change my mind when I hang it up in December." Triller TV is offering a pay-per-view bundle of both AEW's All In and All Out through their web service. The price of the both AEW pay-per-views are $84.99, cheaper than the $120 value without the bundle. Enemy of the Ace, WWE Hall of Famer Eric Bischoff has a new occupation adding on to his current stint as a podcast host. He is currently a mortgage loan officer through Conrad Thompson's home lending company. Speaking of Enemy of the Ace, Vince Russo is unhappy that the WWE allows Randy Orton to appear on Raw, despite being drafted to SmackDown. So, yeah, fuck him. This week we'll have many wrestling shows, other than the usual episodic content from New Japan Pro Wrestling, AEW, and WWE. GCW is currently on tour with Japan with DDT, with GCW versus DDT at Korakuen Hall, with wrestlers like Maki Ito, Mance Warner, Great Sasuke, Ali Catch, and Danhausen. And as well, AAA will have Triple Mania 31 in Mexico City with Nick Nemeth versus Alberto El Patron, Vampiro's retirement match, Psycho Clown, Raj Desi, formerly known as Jinder Mahal, Satnam Singh, Jeff Jarrett, and Matt Riddle. Finally, friend of Matthew from Botchamania managed to create the largest appearance of Joe Hendry at the most recent Jared's Epic Blaster Battle in AT&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys in Arlington, Texas. Jared's Epic Blaster Battle is a national Nerf event where people gather to shoot Nerf guns at each other on a field full of obstacles, contraptions, and more. Joe Hendry's face appeared on the huge Titantron in AT&T Stadium that event. Joe Hendry has reported on this news saying, "Damn, I thought this was fake. AT&T Stadium believes. And we do too, Joe Hendry. We do too." And that is your quick pop, quick minute.
I believe. I also love that he is fully embraced. Like, oh, they're going to keep putting me on NXT. All right,
Yeah.
I'll say.
No, well, I think I actually read something where Peacock, the stupid wrestling service thing that we all have, and we wish that WWE Network was still a thing in the United States. He has his own section on Peacock TV. If you look through like WWE, it's like, okay, we are definitely doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on the man, the myth, the legend, Joe Hendry.
Yeah, hang on. I'm gonna look, but as a bonus, you were talking about various things, and you mentioned
I mentioned Vince Russo. Yeah.
Well, I thought it was weird that you were like enemy of Ace, Eric Bischoff, and I was like, maybe a little bit. Like, he's not my favorite, but no, I'll give you Eric Bischoff, or not Eric Bischoff, Vince Russo. Yeah.
I think that's where we're going to start talking. Like, I don't remember what we named your little segments when you go on your old man graybeard tirade.
Ace versus Legends.
I think I love Enemy of the Ace.
Enemy of the Ace works.
Yeah,
I like that as well.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
WWE rivalries, all things
Jake,
Raw.
like how are you? Let's go back before.
Oh my God, they're right.
Yeah,
there's a whole category section that just says say his name and he appears, and it's like multiple appearances of him.
I love that.
Yeah,
wrestlers exist outside of WWE now, and I think that's amazing.
Well, like, we've always known that like wrestlers can become larger than like their original selves, because you look at like Cena, CM Punk, The Rock, Roman Reigns. Like, we've always known that was a thing, but this is somebody who just like came from a different promotion into WWE. And it's just like, no, I have a fan base and I'm going to run with it now.
No, it's meme culture. Like,
oh yeah, it's 100% meme culture winning out.
I love it. The more we see a Joe Hendry, like, I'm all for it. Like, we even had at my booth a little tip jar, and it says "I believe," and of course the iconic Joe Hendry after he turns around and smiles.
Yes.
Yeah. No, like, very.
I saw somebody had a Joe Hendry cosplay at a convention.
No way. Are you serious?
Where it was like these two pairs of hands, and it was like the back. It was a picture of the backside of Joe Hendry, and the music would play, and they'd spin it around, and it was the front of Joe Hendry, and then they would clap the hands. Like,
I love that. He's everywhere, and I love it. Like,
and it's such a simple concept. Like, it's not like this crazy, like, yeah, obviously there's the quote unquote power of Joe Hendry of like say his name and he appears.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like overtly supernatural about it. It's just this like, yeah, you say his name and then, oh, boom, he's there. Like, there's no power explanation. There's no like, oh yeah, as a kid, people would say his name. Like, it's none of that. It's just this dude where when you talk about him, he shows up.
It's almost like it's just this dude that hangs out backstage and waits for people to say his name.
Yeah. So I just love the idea of it. It's not some, mystical thing like The Undertaker where he would, appear, or Bray Wyatt when he would appear. It's just this Scottish dude who appears.
I love it. I love it. Next Clash at the Castle, we got to see like Drew McIntyre versus Joe Hendry.
Look,
like,
I am waiting. Like, I know they're going to continue to push him in NXT because he is like doing all the numbers.
Yeah.
I am waiting for his main roster debut.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Like that is like must watch.
Apparently they won't be able to do it for at least, I think, 2 years, because he either has a 2 or 3 year contract with TNA. So apparently,
at the rate they keep putting him on, some money's going to change hands. I'll say that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Maybe if WWE wants to buy him out, I think WWE is just going to use him.
Now here's the hotter question though. I had a question and I lost it. So you're saying like he can't appear on main roster; he can only do NXT for some reason.
Because well, I'm not saying that he can't. What I'm saying is like I'm sure he'll show up at the Rumble or something like that.
That's what I was about to say. Is similar to other TNA people. Could we absolutely get?
Like, he will not be like a mainstay like every week on Raw, because from what I understand is the deal with TNA is, hey, you can use our guys in NXT and they can show up in Raw, but they're still signed to us, so they have to make our shows. So like he won't be like there permanently, but yeah, like I could easily see him in the Royal Rumble this year.
Oh, we could even book it too, because who's he kind of feuding with in NXT? Like
everybody.
He's like feuding with like Gallus. He's feuding with all they need to do is introduce one of those dudes into the Royal Rumble, and someone on commentary is just like, yeah, no, he's been having a really hot feud in NXT with like this up and comer, and you hear like Pat McAfee's like, don't say his name, and then Michael Cole's like, well, we have to inform all of the WWE fans out here about Joe Hendry, and all of a sudden, say his name, and he appears.
It would be even better if when they're down there, they've got little cronies with them who are like hanging around the commentator's booth, and so when they start to say it, they're like, "No, shut up!
Don't you say it! Don't you say it! I'm gonna say it, Joe Hendry." Say his name. I would. Oh my gosh!
You want to hear an arena pop? That's how you do it, right there.
Just bam, Joseph Allen Hendry. I don't know if that's his real name.
It is now.
It is
Joseph Allen. I'm gonna look that up real quick. Joseph Allen Hendry. Let's see, Joe. I think this is gonna be what the podcast is.
Ron, let me.
I was close, dude. I was so close.
Okay,
Joseph
how close were you?
Samuel Hendry.
Okay, so you got 2 out of 3.
I got 2 out of 3. So it's there we go. And Samuel has
always...
6 letters. Allen has 5.
The 2 names
and Samuel has A, E, and L in it. So I'm even closer than I should have been close.
He could have been like Joey.
Like we gotta give credit where it's due. I basically got his name right without getting his name right.
I mean, that's one way to say
it. Is that something you get accredited?
Yeah, I should be accredited now.
Oh,
as the wrestling soothsayer Raunchy.
You go check Ron's IMDb. Oh wow! Oh, hey, you guessed Joe Hendry's name. Wow, very prestigious.
And I mean, you guys know I have a huge list of accolades that you could put under my name, all of my titles, and then you just get like wrestling soothsayer that accurately but not accurately guessed Joe Hendry's real like God-given government name. I want to do it.
Former Quick Pop Pick'em champion.
Yeah, former Pick'em champion, current Pick'em champion, never was a champion, always a champion.
Well, you gotta future proof some
Hendry.
articles.
Like, can we edit his Wikipedia now? And it's like, oh, you got it wrong. Don't worry, we know what his real name is. Birth certificate, we got it. Do you want to see it? Who are you?
I really want you to bring like a sign now to like any event that he's gonna be at. Joe Hendry's real middle name is Allen.
Oh my God, I could do it this week. I could literally do that this week. He's like, well, Joseph's middle name, Joe Hendry's middle name is Allen.
Well, you'll be at
yeah, I will be at Collision this Saturday. And the thing is that I'm gonna be around the entrance.
I'm just saying.
So
I'm gonna future shirt idea of like Joe Hendry like marking off his name like on a birth certificate. Like no, they spelled that wrong.
Yeah, it's Allen. My name is Joseph Allen Hendry. Thank you.
Really get mad when people don't get that right,
dude. Oh my God, I don't know what sign. Let's talk about this. The decline of signs at wrestling shows.
Agreed. Every time, like, okay, that was my big thing when I was playing 2K24, is they're showing all these old footage interspersed with, you playing the game, and it's all like these stadiums full of signs. That is a lost
I miss
art.
that aesthetic. Yeah. Like,
I
Jake,
do and I don't, because it also made it very hard to see when you were at shows.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one of those things where, like, you go to a show, you should expect 3 things. Someone's gonna woo, someone's going to be offbeat on a clapping chant, and someone's going to have a sign that sometimes blocks your vision.
Yeah. Like, I distinctly remember, I think it was WrestleMania 40, when that one guy just kept putting that face of himself up.
Yes.
Like, during every single event. Yeah, he was a real McPoop bag.
Yes.
Okay.
I already used my one curse word for the podcast, so I'm trying to censor myself. I'm still in weekend mode.
You guys. So with take away my little I don't like signs blocking my view, old man BS. Did you guys ever bring signs to a wrestling show? And if so, did you ever see your sign on television?
I have brought 2 signs to wrestling shows. None of them made it on TV.
Okay. How about you, Ace?
No. That's an unfortunate thing, is I've never had that privilege either.
I've had technically it happened twice. And by I mean technically, I mean you couldn't see me. You saw my sign in like the top right corner of the TV. But what was it? How many years ago? It was around like the AJ Cena match at the Royal Rumble time frame.
Yeah.
Me and my brother made 2 big AJ gloves. And you could kind of sort of see that. And then back in the old WCW days, we made a sign with South Park wrestling characters of Hogan and Sting and said, "Oh my God, you killed Hogan."
I've always wanted to go to like Memphis Championship Wrestling and beta test signs, but that's such like a small.
How would you beta test a sign?
Well, you see like what people would look at and go like, all right, no, that might be a little offensive.
So wait, you're beta testing offensive signs?
So you see like what's the line?
What kind of stuff are you putting? Give me an example. Give me an example of what you're doing.
What are you doing, Ace? Because like there's
you and I both know that there's things you and I could say about Vince Vicious, I think is what he still calls himself, where it'd be like, no, I don't think you should say that on a sign.
So you're just gonna hand him to Dustin Starr and be like, "Hey, will you tell me which of these flies?"
No, just keep holding him up and seeing how many times he cuts the camera.
How many times in between matches he walks up to you and is like, "Hey, buddy, you got to put that."
No, that sign. I'm like, all right, and I roll it up, put it away.
you have a Sharpie. You like make notes like, "Not this one.
Not this." Okay.
Offensive.
This one doesn't vibe. Makes sense.
Okay. Can't make a joke about Asian people. Nice to know.
So okay.
Guys
I actually did have an offensive sign. The Reddit told me it was offensive.
Oh well,
and I did bring it.
Okay, Ron, I need to know. I don't care whether they did or didn't get on TV. What were the signs that you remember bringing?
Okay, so it was WrestleMania. It was the WrestleMania in New Orleans. I just got married, and I had a sign that I brought to the show, and it says Roman Reigns is stronger than my marriage.
Oh. With hindsight, that's what makes it kind of on the messed up side.
No, there's a part 2. There's a part 2 where I posted my second sign on Reddit. Sign? What?
I said, how did the camera not show that sign?
I don't know. I wasn't on the hard cam side. I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
But it's WrestleMania. Yeah. Like they should have like, no, move, get the camera down there. Go.
Right. Okay. So the second sign, because this is a 2-parter. This second sign was Royal Rumble 2020 before the Great Panini happened. Where Edge finally he comes back to wrestling. I had a sign that was a follow-up, and I posted it because I thought it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. I posted it on Reddit, and they were like, "Dude, that is like lowbrow. That is offensive." And this was in an era where Roman Reigns was gone because he was dealing with leukemia.
Oh, I already see where this is going.
Yeah. At this point, everyone was all about Roman Reigns. Like, it didn't matter who you were, didn't matter how you felt about him before. Everyone loved Roman Reigns at this point. And I wrote on my sign, there are 2 things that are over. 1 is my marriage, and 2 is Roman Reigns. And people got so butthurt about it.
Okay, no, you know what? Lighten up. People. No, that wasn't even offensive.
No, it isn't. Offensive. But they were like, "Oh,
if you would have said
he's battling leukemia, how dare you say that?"
If you're like 2 things are, if you would have said 2 things are on life support, my marriage and Roman Reigns, that's offensive.
That would have been a straw.
Yeah.
But saying like doing the double entendre with the wrestling term over, no.
I thought it was cheeky. I thought it was cheeky.
It's 100% cheeky to use just the double meaning of the word.
Yeah.
No.
If anything, I don't think that sign's offensive.
Shocking. Reddit was wrong. Shocking.
And
also, it kind of dates how long my marriage actually lasted. So that's embarrassing.
Let's leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anything, that's more of a shot at you / the marriage than anyone else. It's almost like you're making fun of yourself, kind of thing,
Oh, I was
he was. Oh, trust. I was there. He was. During that, I was there for those times. He was 100%.
I think. Oh my gosh! I think
self-deprecating.
it was one of the podcasts where I was not like a co-host. Like I left during that time and I came back for that quiz show.
Yep.
And I made a comment about like my marriage ending. And I remember like 2 or 3 other people that we had on as guests were like, "Oh my God." And Ace was just like, this is just par for the course.
Yeah, I'm not shocked. This is a shock.
Everything's funny to me until it's not.
It's because it had gotten to the, like, it was one of those things where I remember when it happened. We'll get back to the wrestling people, I swear. But when it had happened, I was just like, oh man, like any normal human, I feel bad for you, bro. But then just like dudes being dudes, as soon as he starts like making fun and calling like, you're like, well, now I have to like be on that side. I can't all of a sudden take some moral high ground. He's picked the ground that we are now on. So stand on it,
That's the great thing about comedy is that you dictate how you want things paced. You dictate how you want listeners to feel, and you dictate like whether something is lowbrow or something is just like plain funny.
When a comic like has a tragedy happen to them, you wait for the comic to talk about it, and then you go, oh, okay, that's the ground we're on. So when Ron goes from like this awful news to like joking in the podcast, you're like, all right, well, I'm not gonna like pile on, but I'm gonna laugh.
Jake, I don't think were you there for that one?
I don't think so.
No, because Jake was not a regular at the point of the big quiz show.
Yeah,
I think we had him on because we were trying to fill, but this was when we were like losing our other person. I don't want to say it in a too negative light because he's fine now, but it was when we were dropping from 3 to 2 and we were looking for a regular, and we had invited him on for the quiz show. He couldn't make it, but he felt bad that he couldn't make it. And so we were like, well, let's get you on a regular. And then when he was on a regular, then he was like regularly on to the point we were like, hey, you want to be number 3?
But now we're all number 3.
It was you, me, Kari, and it was you, me, Kari, and Nell during the
early years
joining 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, we are the bronze medal of podcasting at a certain time about wrestling.
I am the turkey getting silver medal of podcast hosts. Minimal effort, maximum quality.
I am the Olympic boxing of wrestling podcasts. I'm not going to be here in 2028.
In 4 years.
Yes.
I am the Australian kickboxing representative of wrestling podcast. I don't know how I got here. I'm just making it happen.
Yeah, Jake is like the casual, like doesn't place things in front of his eyes, like the shooter. The shooter memes that are going around.
Shooter, yeah.
Like just like hand in pocket, Orange Cassidy, just like banging it out.
Yeah, I don't need equipment. I'm just a straight shooter.
Yeah, the straight shooter, Jakey Bakey.
Yeah, that's me, I suppose.
Me and my Bakey. Showing up at the last minute with the wrong equipment and having to be told, "Hey, man, you really need to do this."
But that's more like our truth. Oh, I gotta tell you this real quick. This is wrestling related, sort of. So, today we were watching YouTube and an ad showed up because I don't have YouTube Premium. Apparently, Bojangles is teaming up with WWE, and the advertisement had all of New Day. So they had Big E, they had Xavier Woods, they had Kofi Kingston, and they had R-Truth. They had all of the New Day. And so now for dinner, we're gonna get WWE commemorative cup.
Yeah, I want to go because I've seen that like promotion, and I feel it my duty to like get the promo cup. I'm still beefing with Bojangles.
Why are you still beefing with Bojangs?
Because Bojangs dropped Mountain Dew. What was it? Southern. What was it? It was Southern something. That's how long it's been.
Whoa, are
Southern
you mad
Shock.
because we got rid of that? But it wasn't that good.
Okay, hold on. Wait.
This has been the Quick Pop podcast.
Wait, no. Let's not. No, we're not stopping this podcast right here. Here we go. It's Enemy of the Ace. Cue the music. Cue the music.
This isn't an enemy thing.
Cue the music.
No, I'm not
Enemy
cueing
of the
music.
Ace, where he's
Hey,
gonna rant
You
for about like 5 to 10 minutes
I
about
besmirched your
Bojangles.
honor.
Cue the
Hey, I
music.
besmirched
It's
you.
Enemy of the Ace.
You have not researched my
Cue
honor
the
by having an
music.
opinion on Mountain Dew.
Oh, I don't know. Hey, Ron, hold on a second. Hey, anyone that likes that Mountain Dew is stupid and dumb, and I think they don't even have an opinion. Do they have a lobotomy or taste buds removed? The Mountain Dew is straight up trash. No one that likes it is of this earth. They are the most dumb of the. Wait, what's that?
This is Enemy of the Ace. Oh, pizza speak good.
I'm eventually going to get something just loud and obnoxious that just is an interruption. No, okay, look, I enjoy the whole franchise-specific Mountain Dews of the world, with the notable exception of Spark. It used to be specific, then it became big time, and it still sucks. I love the idea of like this one restaurant has this, so like it's the reason you go to this one restaurant is for this thing. There was like Sam's Club has a Mountain Dew specific. Bojangles had a specific Mountain Dew. I mean, heck, Taco Bell was the inventor of the specific franchise Mountain Dew. Food Lion has a specific Mountain Dew. Kroger technically has a specific Mountain Dew. I love the idea of franchise specific Mountain Dews. It's really fun. It's this like idea of like, hey, we're here at this location, and this is the only way we can get this. So it's like almost like a rarity thing, but not quite, because like it's, you know, all over the place. However, the thing that I don't like, and maybe they've changed it, I haven't been on the app or the website lately, but for the longest time they were still advertising all their combos with like, get it with Southern Shock, and you couldn't.
But Ace, see, here's the thing you're missing. Is you love Southern Shock, I get it, right? But by getting rid of Southern Shock, instead of the money they're spending on Southern Shock, they now are spending that money on New Day commercials.
The WWE's paying for that, not them.
And Legion of Doom cups. Ace, you can drink Southern Comfort, or
also this has been out for like,
Legion
or it's been gone for like 2 years. So like, I wouldn't say that they long conned it that well.
I don't care. Oh yeah, they did. No. They listen. They had to get rid of them so that they could negotiate with WWE to get Legion of Doom cups. I mean, come on, it was obvious that this has been in the work for decades. They've been just trying to just kick Mountain Dew to the side. Yeah,
they've been trying to the thing that's not existed for decades. They were
trying to kick Mountain Dew out that restaurant forever. It's like, come on,
they were trying to get that Dew out of that restaurant so hard they invented a Dew to put in the restaurant to get it out.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. See, and they made it taste. They made it taste straight up like Booty Son, so that no
Booty is reserved exclusively for Mountain Dew Spark. That was the worst. Mountain Dew plus like raspberry lemonade it's too much tart.
All I have to say is this. If anyone just tuned into our podcast this week for the first time, this is not
welcome.
Normal.
Second of all, this is very normal.
Is this normal? No, it's normal that we decide to talk about WWE collector's cups at Bojangles and then go on a rant about whether or not that Mountain Dew is good, which was just me and Ron baiting you into your
really
segment so that you would yell at something.
It's really easy to bait me into things when it's Mountain Dew, because while I don't purport to be like, you know, the end all be all know all for the topic, I also really dislike people who just like dismiss Mountain Dew because they're like, oh, it, you know, causes cancer or whatever stupid reason they have. So like,
hey, Ace, did you hear that Jim Cornette now loves Mountain Dew? How do you feel about it?
I mean, Jim Cornette also had a good thing to say, I think last week, that I brought up. So like, maybe the world really is coming to an end. Although I did also hear from another YouTuber that the advertising agency that he used to get ads for the podcast turned out to be a scam that he endorsed, and then he tried to dox the people who were on said podcast. And so like, I was like, I feel bad for you, and then I found out he tried to dox the owners of the podcasting advertising network, and I was like, oh, never mind. So
That's not too bad.
it's a mixed blade.
You're trying your best.
Oh, you know what else? What was you've unleashed a beast. You know what else is not really that great? I don't know if y'all remember the Mountain Dew hot and spicy.
No.
It was like their there's the Cheetos hot and spicy that exists in this world, like the hot and spicy Cheetos.
I don't remember that.
Well, like what I'm saying is like about like hot and spicy Cheetos, like in general.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So Mountain Dew partnered with them and had a flaming hot, like hot and spicy Mountain Dew. It wasn't. It was like the best way to describe it is like orange cinnamon, I guess would be the best description of it. Like maybe it was like spicy in like, if you add like a lot of like, well, literally spice to a drink, but it was not hot.
Man, I tried a spicy lemonade the other day. I think it was like at Wendy's or something.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I don't like spicy stuff, and so I don't know why I even tried it.
The worst, but it definitely was not what it lived up to be. Like I remember I got the commemorative can. It was like one of the tall boys, and it was like all orange and yellow, like the flaming hot. Like
I like spicy stuff. I just don't like spicy drinks. It's terrible.
Yeah, I'm like genuinely, I'm not a spicy person.
Fireball, I can get behind Fireball.
Oh my gosh, I do love Fireball. I love me some Fireball.
I can get behind Fireball.
Yeah. I don't drink anymore, but
you alcoholics.
I don't. Well, I mean, I wouldn't even call
I was rough.
That. I think the last time I had a sip of this.
No, I was rough. I was rough when I was drinking.
I think the last time I had a sip of the sash was like a month ago, and we're talking like maybe like 2 or 3 shot glasses worth. Like I don't really like drink. Every once in a while, I'll be like, I've got the evening to myself. Pour myself, like a bourbon or something.
Yeah, so, heck, we're talking about everything but wrestling. Let's go into it. So, speaking of alcohol,
it's the whatever week.
Well, I didn't watch wrestling this entire week, so it's
because stuff happened, but not like anything like whoa.
Ron, we're not supposed to admit that on the podcast.
No, I'm gonna admit that on podcast. I didn't watch wrestling last week. Dude, I was so busy, man.
I was about to say he was out there making those fat stacks,
Yeah, that's why they call me Raunchy 3K, not Rapunky 3K, Raunchy 3K.
Do they call you that?
Seems like a t-shirt you should make.
They do.
Seems like a t-shirt.
That very much had the vibe of, I swear, they do.
I swear, like the whole Trump thing. Yeah, that's what they call me.
That's what they call me.
Yeah, everybody calls me that. Raunchy 3K. Everyone says it. Your mom said it. Your sister said it. The guy next to you, he knows it. Raunchy 3K. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
Anybody who says that's not my name is a liar. I heard on the Cornet podcast. That's right. We're taking all the shots.
Oh, please. I mean, gosh. But yeah, no, like genuinely, I did not have anything to contribute today other than a few nice little tidbits. Other than that, then I was up the creek without a paddle.
Really invest in paddles.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm gonna make up for it. I'm gonna talk about my time at
You're going to Collision.
I'm going to Collision.
Yeah.
It's gonna collide with Collision.
Have they announced any matches for that Collision yet? Or probably not till Wednesday?
The only one that I saw is Top Flight versus the MXM collection, which I am about.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I love the MXM collection, what they're doing with it. Gotta find my Marseille and Mansois,
Ooh. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like them and AEW is odd. And I don't. What I mean by that is I don't know if it's a good or bad thing yet, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because they're kind of still doing the same Maximil models thing.
Yeah.
And I thought that was funny, but I didn't think it kind of resonated in the ring.
Well, I think the thing is that oh yeah, go for it.
No, I was just like, I don't know. Go ahead.
Okay, so my thought about this is that they were originally hired for Ring of Honor, so they must have done something that popped Tony Khan, and he was like, you know what, I'll put you on AEW, because I think this will be their second appearance on AEW, because I think they wrestled FTR. Yeah, it was FTR, and now this match. So they either impressed Tony, FTR, or both. So I'm all for it. I like them, and plus, given I'm a huge fan of Mace, Dio, Brennan, whatever he wants to go by, whatever he answers to. because he's a fellow anime nerd like me, so I'm down
also,
for it.
When he first came in, they for like few weeks made him look like this big unstoppable brute force thing, and then he went away and he came back and he was part of
Retribution.
Yes, that tragedy of a group, and he just never recovered.
But I had a conversation this week with my friend who is actually, like, we could just go ahead and say this. He's excited to be on this podcast as a guest. We had a conversation about talking Shopomania, about like Retribution and all that. It was just a nice little tidbit.
Talking shop.
God, you remember the Talking Shop days?
Oh, I remember after the first Talking Shop-a-mania, the episode where Ace is like, yeah, I didn't watch it. And then me and you went on for like the whole show, and Ace was just like, cool, I guess we're not talking about anything else.
I was about to say, I literally
cool, I guess I'm going to have to censor some stuff.
No, I remember that episode because I remember, like, you brought it up. I was like, oh, I didn't really watch it. And you guys just, like, you guys went in the same way that you would go in, like, if a New Japan show was on. Except instead of continuing to ask for my opinions on stuff that went down, you just kind of went. Like on New Japan shows, you're like, Ace, between da-da-da and da-da-da, who do you think would win? And I would give my guess. This, you were just like, oh, and then this, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then
I was so good.
I remember I got up, went and got myself something to drink. And halfway through it, I was like, oh crap, I wonder if they're like asking me a question and there's like this awkward, like, I'm not answering thing. No, I don't even think you realized I was gone.
Man, I want to rewatch that now. That was such a classic moment of wrestling.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to send him links because he's never seen it. And I was just like, gushing about it. And knowing his sense of humor, he said he saw clips of the Boner Yard match. And I was like, bro. So I'm going to send him clips and I'm going to ask him about it. Like, what's up?
I said, clips don't do it justice. You have to watch the whole thing.
You have to watch the whole thing.
No, here's what you do. Don't send him any clips. Come up with 3 or 4 versions of the match and describe each of them and ask him to determine which one is the actual match.
No, here's what we need to do. Live Quick Pop podcast, show and tell, rewatch with Quick Pop commentary of Talking Shopomania.
Dude, yes, I am here for this, Ron. We've been discussing doing like a potential like rewatch episode or something. I think that would be the perfect first one.
That one we immediately have to be like, okay, this is 18 plus. So if you're not 18 plus.
Whenever I post the podcast, if I ever have to like mess with swears or if I'm like lazy because like there was one and I'm just like whatever, it asks like, does this episode contain explicit content?
Like you verbally tell it.
Ace has to say like that.
Yeah.
It's like he doesn't even
I say and I click to check the box off. Like well, because it's one of those things where sometimes it'll say like, does this episode contain explicit content? And it's like, sexual nature, overt swearing, da 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 da. And like I remember there was one time where like there was one swear or something where like, I mean, I could have edited it out, I could not have edited it out. And I didn't, and I was there and I got to that part and I remember thinking to myself, like, did I? No, I didn't take it out. Yeah, there's explicit this time.
Most of the time there isn't. It like ask you, are you embarrassed by this podcast? Just
not usually, but
it's okay to admit it, Ace. Me and Ron know we're a lot sometimes.
Every once in a while, you make a decision and you go, I'm not sure this was the right one.
I just feel like sometimes when we go there, like Degrassi, like it's a good time. And I know like deep down in your heart of hearts, like even though you feel like, oh, I begrudgingly like this episode. Deep down in your heart of heart, you love the episode.
Let me clarify. I like every single episode. Now, if it's like Thursday night and it's been a busy week and I still haven't gotten the podcast up and so it's going to be late and there's that part of my brain that's like, hey man, you can't just put it up there. You got to edit it. And I'm like, no, I need to get it up. And it goes, yeah, but do you remember that 1.5 minute long segment where Ron just went in and you're like, no, dadgummit, I do have to fix that. Those are the times where I'm like, somewhere I made the wrong decision to stand on the wrong line.
But that's okay. That's okay. A lot of people make those decisions, like Dirty Dom.
Dirty Dom made some real questionable decisions.
He's definitely made some real questionable decisions. I don't know what's going on.
I do like that both Damien and Rhea have like unofficially been like, we both got screwed over by this group, so we're like still going to kind of like watch each other's backs. Like it could have very easily just been but it could have very easily just been like someone gets their revenge, at some point kind of thing. But they very clearly and together were like, no. You got messed up. I got messed up. Like we are now full on in this together.
Yeah, they should start a new stable called the Revengers, and it's gonna have like R-Truth in it, and the Miz for some reason, and then Bad Bunny as well. And they have a a War Games match.
Yes, except it's not actually. Except R-Truth thinks it's a board game.
It's a board games match. He comes out with chest and shit. Man,
you saw my battleship.
I really love Betrayal on the House on the Hill. What are we talking about?
Okay, sidebar. That is an amazingly fun game.
Amazing game.
What's fun?
I love it. Like I brought it with me this weekend. We didn't play it, but we brought it.
What game? What I missed it?
Betrayal on the House on the Hill.
Oh, okay.
It's a tabletop game. It's so much fun.
It's great. I got to be Dracula one time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, it's so cool.
I love that I played that game probably 10 to 20 times, and I still haven't got, you still don't have every scenario. So good.
Yeah. Some of the scenarios are like complete BS, but it's still so much fun.
We had won this one time where they were like, "Oh, y'all are all like turned into mice, and the betrayer is now a giant cat." I'm like, "What acid trip did I walk into?"
There was one that I had where the entire mansion started sinking into the abyss, and the rooms started going away one by one.
Yes, played.
That one was sick. That one.
Okay, so mine was similar to that, but it was an alien. Like the betrayer was an alien, and so like then the house was like a flying saucer. So literally, it's like spin the board like around, and now like the basement is the attic, the attic's the basement, and like all this other stuff. And then rooms just started breaking off every, I think it was like 2 minutes or something. Yeah,
can you imagine like R-Truth explaining all of Betrayal on the House on the Hill to like Dominic, and Dominic's like, dude, that actually sounds like a rad game.
Oh, that's what I was about to say. Sorry, you got me off. I just saw something from a Raw that apparently Dominic with Liv, like I guess to Rhea was like, yeah, and she's way better. She gives me nuggies whenever I want. It's like he is a 5-year-old. He is a 5-year-old, and apparently the nuggies.
He's a man of simple tastes.
Okay, all I gotta say now is if Dominic Mysterio doesn't redo his entrance theme to Limp Bizkit, but it's all about the nuggies, what are we doing? Or I did it all for the nuggies.
I'm here for it.
I need him to come out too. I did it all for the nuggies.
And then we have another like WrestleMania moment where we talk about Limp Bizkit's performance.
Yes, and me and Ron disagree about it.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Although we may agree about it this time.
Yeah. But yeah, that's and also not to take credit, like this was Kel's idea about a like Judgment Day War Games, a mixed match War Games.
The problem is you're gonna have to compete with a Bloodline War Games.
Well, I mean,
just make all War Games. Make it all War Games.
Make every match a War Game.
Every match is War Games.
You always have 2 War Games, so the other War Games is going to have to compete with the Bloodline War Games. Plus, here's the thing: we all know the Bloodline War Games is probably going to be an okay match. It's just going to be very theatrical and like feel like a movie, and that's what's going to sell that match.
Yeah, while the other War Games with Judgment Day and the Terror Twins and R-Truth, not only just board game match, but that is going to be straight up gang violence in that one. Yeah. Plus,
also, it would have the edge of being mixed tag match, so you get to see like Rhea Ripley beat up Dom. and things of that nature.
And Bad Bunny is gonna be in it.
Bad Bunny's gonna show up, and he's just gonna rap, and then everyone's gonna be like, "Bad Bunny, why you rapping?" And then he's gonna do a Canadian Destroyer off the cage.
I'm just gonna say
I would love that.
I'm now trying to figure out how to make every match a War Games match. Like, how can we compete for the IC title in a War Games match? How can we compete for the Raw Tag Team titles in a War Games match?
I will say this. I have had the idea for a long time, and no one's ever done it, is I would love to see a War Game style match, 2 rings, that big cage, but then make it like a 10-man match for a title. And just like, somebody comes in the ring, and then once all 10 men are in the ring, the first pinfall or submission is champion. Like you could even slim it down to 6 or 8, but I just think like a multi-man 2-ring cage, anything goes match for like an intercontinental title, a heavyweight title, insert title. I just think that could be a lot of fun.
Okay, so I want to end it off on this note, if that's okay.
Hey, Ron.
Somebody is looking at the runtime. Yes,
I want there. I want there to be a Dominic Mysterio fever dream of a match. Judgment Day, with Carlito, with JD McDonough, with Finn Balor, Liv Morgan, and Dominic Mysterio versus, the Terror Twins, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, but then also have R-Truth, and R-Truth, drags the Miz along because, they're buddies. And then for some reason, Bad Bunny's there. And you know what they do? In Dominic's little fever dream of a match, Legends of the Hidden Temple. They have to compete. It's Legends of the Hidden Temple, the old school Nickelodeon TV show with Olmec saying that they need to get some artifact, and they had to answer like historical questions and whatnot. And then they had to go through the actual temple itself. But you got to be careful because the Temple Guardians are going to come out and get you. And the Temple Guardians are not just any Temple Guardians. You're going to have like Imperium coming and showing up, and you're basically going to have a wrestling match in the pitfall room where there's a whole bunch of foam and whatnot. And you got to pull the ropes in order to find the key to the next room. But when you insert the key into the door, it doesn't work. You got to go climb up another section. But oh no, there's another tag team over there. It's DIY. They jump down and they're blocking you from getting. And then they steal the pendant. And then you're like, oh dang, I can't progress in the temple anymore. So then another team comes in and they try to take on the Temple Guardians and whatnot. Dominic's fever dream of a wrestling match takes place in the temple in Legends of the Hidden Temple, the hit Nickelodeon TV show about trivia in history.
Here's the thing, Ron. Everyone's like, oh, is this a cinematic match? No, it's not. We go to the old Universal Studios a lot where Nickelodeon was, and we have the pay-per-view there. So they are just doing Legends of the Hidden Temple for a live audience.
Love it. Book it or bury it. Book it or bury it, Ace.
I'm not touching that.
Ace, you book that. You book that now.
Book it.
Ace, you book it.
I'm trying to book it.
Okay, well, speaking of booking it, we're gonna book it on out of here. This is the Quick Pop podcast where we honestly we had stuff to talk about. But did we talk about it? You may never know. That's the mystery. Ooh, remember to follow Ace of Spades Card at Ace of Spades Card on Twitter, Twitch, Insta. Follow Jacob Derrick 6 on Twitter, and I think he has an Insta. And then you have me, Raunchy. I am Raunchy on Twitter, Twitch, and then I.am.raunchy on Insta. That's the show. Goodbye, good night, drink your balls, slice your children in half. That's the show. Good night, everyone. When I say slice your children in half, it means creating 2 children, not like you murder one. We're not Casey Anthony or something or whatever.